ragli devorecho violenzi vosi ned ragli devorecho violenzi vosi nishbati rakayimo yishmor mishbekei tzikecho nishbati rakayimo yishmor mishbekei tzikecho. We're going to continue teaching Torah here after Shavuos, the great holiday where we're given the Torah, a new rebirth within ourselves to learn it, to follow it, to teach it. And I will do my best to do that as well in my giving over Torah videos with a new light and das. Rebbe Nachman has a story called the Chandalier, and it goes as follows. Once a son left his father and remained in a distant land for many years. When he returned home, he boasted about how he had learned the art of making chandeliers. He told his father to invite all the local masters of this craft so that he could demonstrate his skill. His father invited all the masters to see the skill that his son had learned. And when they looked at it, they realized it was very ugly. He wasn't a master at making chandeliers, but they didn't say anything. And the son continued boasting. And so finally the father asked privately each of them, "What did you think of the chandelier my son made?" And they laughed. They said, "Honestly, it's very bad. I didn't want to say anything, but it's not good." And they all described something wrong with the chandelier. When the son heard this from his father, he said, "They have it backwards. You see, each one of them pointed out something different that was wrong in the chandelier. They pointed out a different deficiency, because that was really something that was one of their shortcomings." As he says inside, "For this lamp I've demonstrated my skill. I've shown each one of them his shortcomings. In this lamp I have included the shortcomings of all the local masters of this art. You did not realize that one considered one part ugly, but another part was made very well. The next one, however, considered the first part beautiful and wonderful, while for him the second part was made poorly. This is true of all of them. What one considers bad is good to another, and vice versa. I made this lamp out of the shortcomings and nothing else, to demonstrate to all of them that they do not have perfection. Each one has a shortcoming, since what is beautiful to one is deficient in the next. But if I want to, I could make a perfect lamp." If people knew all the shortcomings and deficiencies in a thing, they would know the essential nature of that thing, even if they had never seen it before. Great are Hashem's deeds, it says in Tehillim. No man resembles another. Adam, the first man, had every human form in the world. Moreover, in the Hebrew, the word for Adam includes all these forms. The same is true of all other things. In the Hebrew word for light, or, all things are included. The same is true of everything else in creation. Even in the forest, two leaves are not alike. The Rebbe spoke about this at length. He then said, types of wisdom exist that can sustain a person completely. A person could live with such wisdom without eating or drinking. He then spoke at length of this awesome concept. The Rebbe's followers spoke of a person, The Rebbe's followers spoke of a person who was in a large Gentile city and remained there a long time. He was trying to reach a certain goal, and each time it appeared as if he would accomplish it. But in the end, he remained there a very long time. The Rebbe said that this often happens to people. Each time a person thinks that he will accomplish something, he says, now I will accomplish it. And then later, now I finally accomplish it. And this goes on and on. And so, my friends, we're going to understand this as follows. Why was this son, the chandelier maker, able to see all the shortcomings in all the other masters' works? And in his own works, and he was able to really make that perfect lamb. Yet, he didn't. And so we see from this that Chazal teaches in the Talmud that a person should have one eye on what's going on around him in the future and what he can accomplish, and one eye on where he's really holding that moment. And so a person, generally speaking, he has trouble seeing his own shortcomings because of his pride. His pride, like the craftsman, he has pride in his work. This is what gives him strength. But to think otherwise, of it not being beautiful, not being perfect, it would hurt him. He wouldn't be able to continue his craft. It would be too hard for him. But a true person sees his shortcomings with one eye, as the Talmud says, and therefore is able to perfect himself and perfect the shortcomings within himself. And therefore he can reach true perfection. And he has reached true perfection through this ability. Even if he has not actually created that perfect vessel yet, his true perfection is just in the idea that he realizes in humility his own shortcomings. And as he said in the end, that a person keeps saying, I will accomplish something, and yet he continues and continues and it doesn't get done. You know, this is the fire within a person. Sometimes it's out of control. They put their feet down, they have to realize a way to make something productive and a finished product. You know, sometimes it's the actual act of trying to accomplish something that is a true mitzvah and the greatness, not the actual finishing of it. But at the same time, if you don't actually finish the mitzvah, you're missing a big part of the mitzvah. So therefore we have to plan out in sequence not only the idea that we want to get something done, but we have to know how to finalize it and to produce it for the world. One of the great things about an artist and a craftsman is that they're able to see a little beyond themselves and look into the world and try to see something beautiful and to share that with others. And that's the thing, like this story was saying, that no two things are alike. We have to appreciate the beauty in all things and all people. And therefore that's the true greatness of a person, is realizing the greatness in others and that which Hashem has created.